Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Podcast. I'm your host, JB. Before we go ahead and jump into everything, get started, and introduce our guest for this evening, let's go ahead and first off talk about some of our sponsors. So first off, I want to thank House of Mysterious Secrets, and you can check them out over at houseofmysteriousecrets.com and use our code 4130 to save 10% on all your awesome horror merch. I mean, they got literally a little bit of everything for anybody who's into horror. I mean, shirts, toys, whatever the fuck you're into. Also, our friend Sydney, my friend Sydney, goes ahead and she makes these really cool horror themed wax melts, and you can go ahead and check those out as well and use our code in the link provided and save 20% off there. And she also has a true crime podcast, so if you're into true crime, check her out over there as well. And last but not least, go ahead and check us out over at talesfromthepodcast.com. It's scrolling on the bottom there. Plus, I mean, you already know how to fucking find it. And there you can find links to get this comic book and have all sorts of fucking cool fun and shit. And last but not least, before we go ahead and start, I guess I'd go ahead and just throw it out there right now that Mr. Charles Nasty is not going to be on here as often anymore. He will do an occasional guest spot here or there. He has a babysitter now and wants to go and party it up on Saturdays. So you can still check him out over at the Nasty Nation, and there's another one too. But yeah, you can check him out there, and remember, holler at him online, hit him up on Facebook, and ask him about his crusty socks. He is really into that shit. Now, to introduce the guest for this evening, a good friend of the show, good friend in general, and awesome podcast host as well. One of the hosts of the Skewered Universe podcast, my buddy Jeff.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not too much, man. How you doing?
You know, I can't complain. Can't complain at all.
I mean, you probably could complain if you wanted to.
If I wanted to, but I see no reason. It gets nothing done. It's counterproductive.
I'll agree with that this time. I mean, sometimes I think complaining can get stuff done. I mean, we've all seen that person at McDonald's who, complains enough where something actually happens. But yeah, I get what you're coming from for the most part. Oh, man, you're freezing up already.
Are you serious? I don't even see it on my end.
Yeah, it's okay though. I mean, we'll I mean, you sound good. I mean, it looks better now. So, anyways, man, anything new going on with you?
Not really anything new, but we did I did a solo episode recently because we're doing over at Skewered Universe. We're doing January is for Giallo.
Ooh.
Because I've never really delved into Giallo films, so I figured, fuck it, why not do it now? So I did a solo episode where I reviewed and talked about The New York Ripper from 1982, the Lucio Fulci film.
How'd that go?
That was actually, you know what? As crazy as it was, I had a lot of fun. I didn't know where it was going. I had only heard about the killer talking like a duck. So
yeah.
It was unspoiled for me, so I had fun with it.
Well, that's good, man. I mean, it's not a horrible movie. I mean,
Oh no, it's
As
not horrible,
as
but it's
as
not
where
great.
Fulci is, it's not my favorite, but I
Yeah,
get it. You know.
yeah,
Um. Well, that's awesome, man. I'm happy to hear that. I'm assuming you probably got some more giallos coming up.
yeah, definitely do. The next one we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
do is on. Actually, the next show is gonna be covering the black belly of the tarantula, and then we've got a couple
Ooh.
more, hopefully, that we can fit in before the end of the month.
Well, I mean, that sounds pretty fucking cool, man. I'm excited to see what you guys got going on. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, we've got some guests lined up for later in the year and stuff. So we're trying to put something together really good this year. So
Oh, I saw what you're doing, man. It's very impressive how far into the future that you are planning this. Like,
I figure if I have an outline now, then at least I have somewhat of an idea. And if I need to change plans, I've got backups already.
you are not wrong by any means. That's for damn sure. So, anyways, man, I brought you on to talk a little bit about some Tales from the Crypt. I'm assuming you got a chance
Yes,
to watch this episode.
I've watched it twice
Ooh, I'm sorry.
just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But it's an easy watch. 24 minutes, easy watch.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into this real quick then. So,
Let's do it.
tonight's episode that we are going to be discussing is 99 and 44 100ths% pure horror. And this is originally aired January 18th of 1995, which I mean, we're right around the same date, which is kind of crazy. Not the 1995 part, but still. Um,
Right.
and this
Crazy.
is based off of a story from Vault of Horror issue number 23. Now, to jump into a little bit more into detail with this, this was directed by Rodman Flender, who I
Hmm.
know it sounds like you want to say something. Go
I
ahead,
just
say it.
in my head, I was just calling him Rodman. I didn't even care about the last name. I was just like, he's Rodman.
Rodman. No, he has a very distinct look. But
Yeah,
I
I
mean, the
looked
guy,
him up and I was like, okay, interesting.
yeah, yeah, he's done quite a bit. But I mean, like, it's one of those things where he does a lot of TV stuff.
Right.
But he was the director for two movies that I actually really, really enjoy. One being Leprechaun 2,
Oh,
and
nice. Okay.
yeah, the other one, probably not a very popular movie, but the 1991 film The Unborn.
I have not seen that.
It is it is a guilty pleasure movie of mine. I will say I know it's not a great movie, but for some reason I really enjoy watching it.
The
Uh,
only Unborn that comes to mind was the more recent one in like the mid
yeah,
2000s, and that was dog shit.
yeah, it was. David's already chiming in in the Cooker segment. It looks like he's training for an Olympic tournament. Yes, yes, he does. Um,
The
the screen,
Decathlon.
yeah, the screenplay, by the way, was also done by Rodman Flender, and
Okay.
Rodman Flender also had a role in this episode as well.
Yes,
That's how
he
you
did.
know it's good when you write, direct, and try to put yourself in an episode.
Yeah. That.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, it's always rough when that's the case. Like,
Yeah, no
that's,
kidding.
um, we got Bruce Davison in this episode. Um, Unfortunately, not for very long in this episode because he's
No,
probably one of
no.
the better parts about this one.
He
Um,
was acting circles around everybody else, basically,
well, I mean,
which
it's
isn't
easy to do.
hard.
It's easy to do when you're like basically the only real actor in this.
Yeah.
Um, God damn. I mean, it's hard to name everything he's done, but I mean, the X-Men movies, The Crucible, Shortcuts, Evil at the Door, The Manor, Pearl influence, Wishman, The Lightkeeper. Man, this guy's been in so much shit. It's hard to name it all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It is.
man,
Harry and the
he was
Hendersons
in.
TV show.
Yes, yes, he was in the TV movie Bigfoot, which I've seen almost every single Bigfoot movie ever made. What else was he in? God damn. I mean, the dude's been in so much shit. It's kind of like hard to just say
Yeah.
some of the stuff, you know. But I mean, he's been around for fucking ever. I mean, he's been acting since like what, the '60s or '70s? I think the late '60s.
S- Something
Um,
like that, yeah. He was really young when he started.
yeah,
Fairly
yeah,
young,
he
anyway.
he he definitely was. Oh, you know what? I think I know my favorite role of him. What's your favorite role that Bruce Davison did?
You know what? Just because it's the one that I remember him from the most, it was the Harry and the Hendersons TV show.
Really,
I mean,
Willard,
I have appreciation for like him being Senator Kelly in X-Men and everything else I've seen him pop up in, but that was where I first saw him during my childhood. I was like, oh, it's not John Lithgow, it's this guy, and then he just stuck in my
right?
head from there.
Oh, dude, I get it, dude. Like, the first time I've got to see him was, like I said, Willard. I mean, I watched that movie when I was
Oh,
pretty
nice.
young, the original one, and I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, he did a great job in that. We also got Christy Conway in this episode as well. Um, oh God, she was in Batman Returns, Time Cop,
Mm.
Doc Hollywood. I mean, she's been in some stuff. I mean, not the best stuff, but she's been in some stuff.
Yeah, I was looking at her and I'm like, you kind of look familiar, but I think you're one of those where it's like, if I saw you in something else, I'd be doing the exact same thing. Like, kind of looks like I've seen you somewhere, but
Yeah, yeah. Like, she's Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Um, God, what else was she in? Oh, she was in Underworld. Not
oh,
the
huh,
Underworld that you're thinking of, the one from 1996. In fact, not even close to the same movie. That other one's a
yeah,
Dennis Leary film. But yeah, I
oh
mean,
man,
like, she doesn't do a horrible job in this episode. She does a horrible job in some of the other movies that she's in, but
yeah,
not this
that's
episode,
yeah. She was fine in this episode. I mean, she did what she needed to do.
right? We also got Darren Heems as Tom. I mean, in this episode, he really, I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, in almost everything he does, it's not amazing. He does like a bunch of one offs in TV shows, and that's been the
Hmm.
majority of everything that he's ever done. Um, he was a few episodes of Son of Anarchy. He was in Jonah Hex, CBGB, Dirty Beautiful, Magnum PI. I mean, it's literally just small appearances on other stuff. And usually the other stuff wasn't that great to begin with. He was also in Dr. Giggles, which I just feel the need to let
Huh,
you know that. But I
huh.
mean,
That was the guy she was sleeping with on the side, right? That we're just
yeah,
talking about right now. Okay, I wanted to make
yes.
sure that I didn't have him and the director who was playing a part confused.
No, no,
I was like, I think
no.
I have it straight. I don't think I got him confused. I didn't. I had it straight. Okay.
No, no, no. You just fine there. We got Kelly Caulfield Park or Kelly Caulfield in this. Just depends, I guess, like when she got married. But
Yeah.
she played the talk show host on this, which may I say, I didn't like the way she looked, like personally. But I mean, she's been in a ton of shit too. She was on In Living Color, Jerry Maguire,
Mm-hmm.
Scary Movie. Um, she's at least had a better career than some of the other people on here.
Yeah. I think if you
But
say her name, most people of a certain generation would know who she was.
right, right,
So
that's
around
for
this
sure.
time, people watching Tales from the Crypt had probably seen In Living Color, so they'd know who she was.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, she was in Living Color for like ever.
Yeah,
So
I think practically the entire time the series ran,
right, right.
I think she was the only one that stayed from beginning to end.
Um, very well could be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. We also got Ricky Dean Logan in this, who has a very short, very short role as the graffiti artist guy.
Hmm.
But He was in Back to the Future too. Freddy's
Yep.
Dead. I mean, he's been in a few movies. I mean,
Yeah. Nice hearing from you, Carlos.
right? Oh, I mean, he did some voice work on the cartoon series for Spawn, which is always
Oh, see, I
cool.
didn't know that.
Yeah. He was in the '90s version of the Flash TV show. He was also in Back
I
to the
can see
Future
that.
Part 3 as well. So, I mean, we got those. He was also in the 1994 Fantastic Four film.
Ooh, that's the Roger Corman one, I think, right?
Oli Sassone.
Oh, Jesus, I didn't even know that one existed.
Yeah, from my understanding, it's really, really bad. I
Oof.
have not had the chance to see it yet, but it's definitely from some filmmaker friends of mine. It's very well known.
Oh,
Let's
man.
see. Yeah, and we obviously got Rodman Flender, which I already said, and John Cassier in this episode. So that basically that's basically all the people that are in this episode. Now, I don't know. This episode's a very odd one to say the least. We got a painter who's cheating on her husband, who's a designer who helped design some images for some box work for soap,
Yeah, for his
and
soap company.
yeah, and then kind of ended up going to like a more gory kind of art style that she started doing. Um, he ends up having to basically drop her, so she gets mad and wants a divorce. Um, basically claiming he's going to take half the stuff. So obviously he pulls out the trump card of like, hey, can't really do that. I got all these, all this proof that you were cheating on me and all this.
Mm-hmm.
So she ends up beating him in the head with a giant bar of soap, and until she
Mm-hmm.
thinks he's dead, carrying him out to a car. Obviously, until she still thinks he's dead, but he ends up moving again, so ends up hitting his
Mm-hmm.
head again a few more times in the car. Dumps her into some of the chemicals used to make the soap, and
And
turns
he,
him into soap.
yeah, throws him
Um,
in the molten glycerin vat.
right, right, right. May I go ahead and first off say, which I think is fucking insane. I don't know how one person, I mean, a full size adult, could
Mm-hmm.
turn into half of a box of soap because I don't think you compress.
No.
Like, I'm pretty sure that entire vat is contaminated with you, but what do I know?
Yeah.
I've never turned a person into soap.
Well, I know in that video he was talking in the beginning that because he was going to present to the board, they said
Right.
their machine could churn out so much soap in 8 minutes.
But
I'm
yeah,
like, that
like a
still
whole
doesn't make
case or
sense
something.
because not only are you having to dissolve tissue and cartilage and body fat and the skin, there's bone, there's ligaments, there's tendons. You
All
wouldn't be
that
able to
has
break
different
that
melting
down in eight
temperature.
minutes. I mean,
Yeah, right. Especially for somebody who's claiming not to be using shit like hydrochloric acid. Like
right.
without using any kind of higher grade acid, I mean, it's going to be really hard to break down a human body.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way we're talking about this makes it sound like we have a lot of experience breaking down human bodies.
Well, I we don't want to bring up our past, do we?
That's
I'm
fair.
kidding. I'm kidding. We have not done anything crazy.
All right, and yes, Take a 50-Foot Woman was a very cult classic movie. Unfortunately, I stand by it not being a good movie though. And he also says, I
That's
think what's iconic is Back to the Future 2 is that the Tannen gang has a woman in it. Yeah. And, oh, yes, at the end, the husband gets the last. I mean, in a way. But at the
in
end,
a way.
she's in the shower and makes the comment about how he's always wanted to shower with her, gives her a chance, and uses that, which ends up
Mm-hmm.
without explanation of why a lot of this is going on, ends up basically like melting her skin. You see his eye in it. Um, and it basically ends from there. I mean, it doesn't really go into a lot of detail of how but she basically ends up melting herself away with
Mm-hmm.
this one bar of soap. And that's how or the actual episode goes, which, I mean, we'll get into that in here in a second. But
Yeah. Yeah,
The comic book. I went through and obviously I read that just like I do every episode.
of course.
And that one's I mean, it's better, but I'm not going to say by much. There is really no like love triangle or really love situation whatsoever going on here. It's basically a person who's working for a soap factory whose boss is hard on him, so he ends up killing his boss and putting him into bars of soap. He has a lot more bars of
Okay.
soap than I'll say the woman does, so I mean, it's a little bit more believable in how many bars they
Right.
made. But he runs out of soap, so ends up using it, and then once he uses the soap, basically it's like instant fucking karma from there. It's like he gets it in his eyes, he can't see as he bumps his water, turns it boiling hot, burns himself, drops the soap clogs up the drain. Then from there, the the biggest thing that doesn't make any sense to me, but also because I wasn't around in the mid 50s, maybe this was a very popular design, but the door to his stand up shower must have had a full watertight seal because he drowned in it.
Jesus.
And that's how it ends, which I still don't know if that's ever been a thing.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like I told you before we started, I had gone on and kind of looked at some of the images from the comic, and I saw that panel of him pushing. I'm like, that's odd. Why would the shower door not open?
Right. I mean, any stand up shower I've ever had, it's like, but then again, I'm not that old. Like, they always
Yeah,
had like the magnet way of keeping it shut. So, I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
you literally put like 2 pounds of pressure and that thing opens up. But this thing is
Yeah,
sealed fucking tight like a submarine door. That doesn't
yeah.
add up. I
It's like, was
I
there a
don't
supernatural explanation somewhere we that wasn't
I don't know.
said?
You know how there's always those jokes going around, like basically like, oh, everything was made so much better back in the day. And I agree for the
Hmm.
most part with like my tools and all that kind of shit. I do understand that.
Yeah,
Maybe shower doors were fucking like a fortress back then. Like, like I have no fucking clue.
I don't know. I honestly, I didn't even think they would have like walk-in showers like that back then. I figured it was you stand in the tub and you had a shower head and a curtain.
I I mean,
But
I don't know.
evidently,
Apparently in 1950s, we had amazing showers and you couldn't get out. I mean, there was a chance that you could drown.
yeah, chance you could drown, but you could lock yourself in there and nobody could get in to come get you. I guess.
Right?
So
I don't get it, but I
it's like
mean,
shower slash panic room for the 50s, I guess.
that's the only thing that makes sense. I yeah, damn. But yeah, I mean, that's the basic episode as well as comic book comparison there. Question, man.
Mhm.
I'm sorry to do this to you.
Hey, it's fine. I haven't seen much Tales from the Crypt, so I'll take anything I can get to expose me a little bit more.
Well, I mean, I wish we would have met like 3 years ago because I'm going to tell you right now, you would have had way more fun with those episodes. But, it is what it is. But what did you think about this episode? And if you had to rate it and give it, a score in between 1 and 10, where are you going to throw this one?
I had fun with it. Was it a great watch? No, it was just kind of fun. I mean, it's something you could throw on in the background for 24 minutes if you're doing something else, and it's fine.
Right.
I mean, I did kind of like seeing Ricky Dean Logan just show up because it's kind of cool to see him pop up in things. Bruce Davison is always fun to see.
Right.
But as far as that, yeah, fun, but it wasn't exactly like the greatest thing I've seen. So I'd probably
That
give it, if we're talking like out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 4.
I I mean that's fair. That is fair. Um I guess for myself, I'm gonna have to basically agree for the most part on all of that. I mean, with this episode being what it is, I mean, I can't go much higher than like a 4, maybe a 5 at tops.
Hmm.
It's one of those episodes of Tales from the Crypt where it's more about the the love triangle, and I guess somewhere in translation between the 50s and 90s, it went from being a story about super heavy duty shower doors to being about women being cheating horrible things, which I mean in the 90s was a
Yeah,
very big thing there. I mean,
that
I
that was
feel
a
bad
big.
for any woman who had to live through the 90s because I mean, according to any kind of form of media, you were quite horrible.
Yeah, no
So,
kidding.
like,
Like she's unlikable from the get go. They don't even give you a chance
yeah,
to maybe start to like her, and then you realize it's just like right from the very get go. As soon as she
yeah, they
tells the
don't
guy,
even
"Okay,
try.
get out of here. I'll give you a
No,
minute to
man.
do what you need to do, and then you got to leave." It's like,
Right. I
okay,
no, it's not that great. I mean, it could be better. Talking about
yeah,
what's going to be better is the next episode of Tales from the Crypt, which I,
mm-hmm.
after our conversation and talking a little bit today,
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like an asshole with you not being on that one. So, I mean, if you want to
You're good, man.
redo, I would understand. Well, John Lithgow's in the next episode.
Oh, I hate you. No, I'm
So,
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, like, if you want to come on again, I fully understand. Humphrey Bogart's in it too. Um,
Oh wait, I think I might have heard something about this. It's
yeah,
kind of like the Forrest Gump kind of thing where inserting
it's
in or something like
a
that.
it's like a plastic surgery type episode. But
Okay.
if you want it, you can do that one as a makeup episode. I understand, but
Hey,
uh,
if you need somebody, I'm available. So,
not to mention, you know who directed the next one? Robert Zemeckis. So I mean, you're on a whole different level of who actually did the episode,
you go from Rodman to Zemeckis.
right? You go
Oh
from
man,
Bruce Davison and Christy Conway to fucking Humphrey Bogart and John
John
Lithgow.
Lithgow.
I mean,
Jeez, man,
yeah,
that's
it's a huge improvement. So, and may I also go ahead and throw it out there? Probably the last improvement that's going to be happening for a while. Yeah, 13 episodes there left after that of season 7, which are going to be rough. I mean, there's a few stars here and there, but I mean, once everything went over to the UK, I mean, it just
mm,
for that last season, it wasn't as good. I mean, it's like
damn.
comparing Bordello of Blood and Demon Knight to The Ritual.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, basically, it's that's the movie equivalent of this. But I mean, I'll get through it. It is what it is. It could be worse.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
after
sure
watching,
how. There could be a season 8 that happens somewhere too, like that.
I will say, after watching this episode, I went on YouTube and started finding all the previous seasons so I could start to kind of go through
Oh
and
yeah,
see. Because, like I said, I missed it growing up. I had only seen a couple of episodes, so we didn't really have HBO. So if I was staying with family on vacation, I'd get to check it out. But
Oh wow. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. If you are a Tales from the Crypt fan and you're going through and wanting to rewatch them, I'm going to post a link right now for everyone to check out. It is a good friend of mine, and it is youtube.com/at CryptsTube Incorporated. And he puts out 4K releases of the Tales from the Crypt episodes. And may I say, first off, he hands down has the best releases that are out there that are available. He doesn't have every episode completely done yet, but I will say that he has a huge chunk of them done. And not only that, but he puts in a lot of the original ads and previews type stuff that HBO was releasing back then. So you get like a whole experience, and it's done in
yeah,
4K, which not a lot of the places do that. So,
I was
and I think, yeah,
surprised. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was surprised not only at the quality because it was so clear, but then having that whole intro for the world premiere presentation of when this episode first aired,
Yeah,
I was immediately taken back to my childhood because I was like, I remember this entire sequence going through the
I sent
city
you
and
his
then
version.
see. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Oh, dude, he does a killer job, man. I'm telling you. Like, Not too many people can do what he does. I mean, there's 1080p versions, there's 720p versions out there, but his 4K restorations that he does, I mean, he's one of those people where you could be you're watching it, it's like, wow, you could tell he took a lot of pride in this and did something that was really fucking awesome, and he kills it.
Yeah,
I mean, John is an amazing guy, first off, and his work there is just awesome. So I mean, I can't tell people enough to check him out, subscribe to his YouTube channel. If you find his Patreon, throw him a few bucks. I mean, he does this for fucking free for people. So he's a good dude though. I mean, check his shit out.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
it was amazing to watch, and I'm gonna go check out the rest of what he's done. I mean, I have it saved and
Go to
ready to
season
go.
two. Telling you, man, season two.
I'm just
Season
the
one's a fast watch, but I mean, season two is so good.
that's where they hit the mark. Yeah,
I
I'm
think
just
so.
it kind of pisses me off though that we have HBO Max, we have the ability to remaster this stuff in 4K and Blu-ray, Scream Factory doing all these collector's editions, Arrow, all these places, and there's no fucking streaming release of this anywhere except YouTube. There's no Blu-ray or DVD. You can find DVDs, but you got to really look for them. I'm like, why isn't this available, and why isn't it on HBO Max? Is there a licensing thing? Because you guys produced the show. You should be able to
Um,
figure it out.
yes, there were rights issues, especially when it comes to like doing a remake, and the rights with a lot of the other stuff as far as the because I believe what was it, MGM and HBO were working on it, or was it Time Warner? So I mean, there were multiple companies that were actually working on the show at the time. So that's a big part of the reason you're not getting a lot of the streaming rights and stuff like that. The rights, as far as the show being remade, are in a way half-assed, kind of settled. Like they can make another show now. The rights have reverted back to the Gaines family, who originally did the comic books,
Hmm.
but they have to they can't use the script keeper no more because the
Right.
script keeper is owned by HBO. That's not the script keeper from the comic books. That is an
Yeah.
HBO property.
Original
So
Crypt Keeper was an elderly guy, like a caretaker of.
it's that character.
Yeah.
He got
Believe
that
me,
mask too.
even though I don't have a huge knowledge of Tales of the Crypt, I know the difference between the two
Right.
Crypt Keepers.
In fact, they got the crypt keeper, the vault keeper, and the old witch right there.
Nice.
So I mean, but there were some rights issues there. As far as getting all of the episodes, I mean, yeah, you can watch them on YouTube. Um, I will say that I don't think the DVDs were that hard to find. Like I have the first printing as well as the box set printing. So
Okay.
the first set printing is a little bit more expensive. I'm not gonna lie, but the box set, I think, depending on where you go, because I know like if you go to like Amazon,
I,
they're
I
not
stumbled across one the other day and I didn't save it, and I'm kicking myself for not saving it for future reference. But it was the
right.
first time I
Well,
had seen a box set anywhere of Tales from the Crypt because I had been looking, because like with two of the series I would like to own so I could go back through and actually watch them all the way through. Tales from the Crypt, Friday the 13th, the series. Those are the two that I'd like to own.
well, some bitches. Yeah. Right now, you can actually get the box set for $42.99 plus $5 delivery on Amazon.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
It's not, especially it's not bad when you're thinking seven fucking seasons.
Yeah.
So there is that. I mean, it's not a bad thing though. I mean, there's much worse out there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's like 20 discs though.
Oh,
I'm not sure how much I paid for my Friday the 13th one though. But yeah, that's a fun show too. I mean, that's one I got to rewatch soon.
yeah.
I mean,
I've seen that one. I've searched that one out a little more than Tales from the Crypt, and I think the last time I saw the box set, it was like 45 for the entire
really,
series. Yeah, it was
huh?
not badly priced. It may have been on sale, but I was like, damn it, I wish I could get it right now.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get it. Um, I'm curious now. So, I mean, for Friday the 13th, the series, I mean, I'm seeing it for, I mean, the first one. I mean, obviously, you can go through and search, but, I mean, fuck, you can get them on Prime. pretty fucking cheap. Seasons 1 through, because there's only 3 seasons. It looks like,
Yeah,
oh no, don't see season 3 there. They have the collections of the films. I'm seeing it for like $60, the complete series, but I feel like they have it cheaper than that, honestly. Um,
yeah. It's one of those, if you look around, you can find it cheap. Even if you have to pick up a used copy, you can do some disc repair if the DVDs are scratched. I mean, it should be fine.
right. Well, like I know you can get the last season for $13 by itself.
Mhm.
Season, season 2 is like $21. Yeah, see, I'm already seeing it for 59, a little bit cheaper, and that's Amazon. That's not even the best. Like, let's
Yeah.
be honest. When you're looking for a lot of things, people go to Amazon because Amazon's cheap, it's fast, delivers
Yeah.
right to your house, blah blah, all that bullshit. It really doesn't fucking matter. The reality of it is,
Hmm.
you want the best price. I always suggest going to like eBay,
Hmm.
personally. Because I mean, like right here, I mean, I found season 2 for $2,
There you
season
go.
1 for $3.
Yeah.
Like,
When I
so I
was
mean,
yeah, when I first
yeah.
started building my collection, I was huge on like deepdiscount.com and stuff like that because I was finding just so much for like real cheap, and the shipping was cheap too. So
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, a lot of this
So
stuff is like bare bones Blu-ray because they weren't really movies anyone was doing special editions of, and still haven't. But
right.
it is what it is. I've got a Blu-ray version of it for now until somebody remasters it down the line. Who knows?
No, I get it. I do get it, man. Um, I will say you are getting a much better price on eBay than you are anywhere else right now.
Oh yeah, for sure you
For
would.
those who are interested in that. So, and keep in mind that a lot of those places or best offer. I mean, I've never paid what the asking price was on anything.
Yeah,
That's
most people, if
simple.
they've got a best, if they're like or best offer, they're just trying to unload it. They're
Well, I mean, they most of these people have shops. I mean, you can click their names, go and find out
yeah,
everything they have for sale. It's. I suggest eBay over Amazon every fucking time. I understand the concept and why people like Amazon and the friendliness of using it, and it, the reality is, though, is they're not the best price for everything like people think they
no,
are.
no, they're really not because if you're really looking for stuff and you really start to price compare, a
Hmm.
lot of their stuff is right at retail. Unless you're looking for a cheap knockoff version of whatever it is you're trying to find.
Oh, dude, yeah, yeah. I mean, over the last like 2 years, I've been noticing like Amazon, like when they first came out, they were cheaper. They were,
Mm-hmm.
and slowly over the years, it's like you're not saving a fucking dime going to them.
Nope.
The only thing that's really okay with having Prime is that you get Prime Video too.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, the free shipping, like if you're getting stuff or you want to grocery shop and have it delivered, the Prime helps out with that. Fine,
right?
whatever. The video, it's gotten better over the years because it was real shitty in the beginning. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's horrible though.
No, no, it's not horrible. It's a lot better than it was. There's a lot more
Right.
to it now.
And with all the things that Amazon's been purchasing, like, so we know
Yeah.
we're gonna get some money out of it for sure
Oh
now.
yeah.
That's for
Yeah.
So I'm not mad about that. Um, man. Well, I had a lot of fun talking about not this episode.
I do have a couple of things I want to mention about this episode real quick. Is one,
Yeah, of course.
when she went to beat her husband in the head, she picked up that giant ass brick of soap.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to believe in the time she hit him and then took it to the sink and then the guy was yelling outside the window? That giant brick of soap fucking dissolved from running water? No,
Yeah.
no. You know how
That's
long
what
that
you're
soap would
supposed to
take to
believe.
dissolve? No, no.
Apparently, about two
They're
minutes.
nope, not buying it. Nope, 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 nope. I usually am the guy who's going suspension of disbelief. This time I'm like, come on, that thing was like, dude, that was like a five brick of soap.
It was like the size of
It was
about
like
25 bars.
soap on a rope for Andre the Giant.
Yeah, basically. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, I 100% agree with you there. I mean, but it's one of those things too with Tales from the Crypt. It's like there's
Hmm.
always something that's really fucking hard to believe in some of these episodes, and the later it
Yeah.
goes, the worse it gets, and that's definitely one of those tough ones.
Like the first time I watched this, I was like, okay, did I miss something? Was there supposed to be a passage of time? Like, did I miss her maybe like sitting down and then this guy showed up? No, no, it's literally she bashes his head in, is trying to start rolling him up, and this guy's outside the window. Hey, let me up! I'm here on time. I'm like, and then he comes in and grabs the rope that had the sofa. What's this for? I'm like, no,
No,
no, no, no, no, no, no, no, no.
yeah, that
That and they actually, and I don't want to correct you here, they actually did sort of give an explanation as to why the soap did what it did in the end.
what
They
was
were
that?
not in that video that Bruce Davison's character was going to present to like the board. He
Yeah,
said they didn't use animal products in their soap because they contained like hydrochloric acid. So
I
when
thought he
his
said they
body got,
didn't.
yeah, they don't use animal products
Uh,
because the hydrochloric acid could be within the animal, which is why they don't use it. So when he got dumped into that vat, he basically got turned into hydrochloric acid, which is why she melted in the shower.
Because I was pretty sure in the episode he said that they don't use hydrochloric acid because he
Yeah,
mentions, with it being the inside of your stomach, and look what it could do to you. You don't want to put that on
yeah,
the outside,
they don't. But
you
once
know.
his body was thrown in, he was basically saying we don't use animal products because we don't want to have hydrochloric acid in our soap. But what
Well,
she did by introducing organic material into their soap was create the perfect environment to release that hydrochloric acid into the soap.
well, I guess so, but I mean, in another sense, though, I mean, like, all right, do you have any experience with hydrochloric acid?
No, I actually do not,
Okay,
aside from what I've seen on YouTube videos and how quickly it can dissolve shit, but it's not as fast as what they're saying.
all right. Well, with what I do for work,
Mm.
I am familiar with hydrochloric acid. Very familiar with it because it is one of the very few things that I could use to clean off my windows and shit like that because
Mm-hmm.
of how nasty some of the shit I work with is. And I'll tell you right now, the stuff I use is usually around 90% hydrochloric acid, which is significantly stronger than anything that would have been in that.
Right.
Um, you get a little bit of a burn, not melt your fucking body off.
Yeah, it takes time. I've seen the videos and there's time lapse when they're using this stuff of how long it actually takes to break stuff down.
Yeah,
But
and plus I don't think there's that much in your body.
no, no. It would have to have been like several bodies she dumped in there, and she would have had to have a lot more soap than like 25 bars. And aside from that, let me ask you a question. If you
Yeah.
turned someone into bars of soap, are you going to use that fucking soap that you turned them into?
It depends on how bad or how good they smelt beforehand, but probably not. I mean, we were
Yeah,
just talking about it earlier. I got really sensitive skin, so
yeah.
I
Like on
don't-
top of that, it's like, do I really want to rub soap that this has containing like dead body parts in it?
right. Oh, by the way, I did a little bit of research for you. The concentration of hydrochloric acid in the stomach is 0.5%.
Yeah, so
That would not do that to you. I mean,
yeah, no,
you could have just doused yourself in the innards of somebody's stomach and you'll be fine.
yeah. I mean, suspension of disbelief. There's the
Like a
supernatural element. Yeah,
motherfucker.
because I mean,
Yeah.
the eyeballs in the soap, but it's moving around inside the soap. It's looking
Yeah.
around, so it's
Well,
like
not
okay.
to mention membranous tissue and stuff like your eyeball is
Hmm.
going to dissolve way faster than everything else.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah,
It's like
yeah,
you can
I
take
get
an
what
eyeball
you're
between
saying.
your fingers and literally just kind of go, "Look, where am I? Yeah, that way," and just kind of squish it, and it would pop. Sorry, I
Right,
keep
right.
having to figure out where I'm going on the camera here.
No, it's backwards from where you think it is.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. You move one way, and you're like, oh wait, it's over this way.
right, but it's
So
not really.
yeah,
But overall, I still say it's a mediocre to lower end episode.
yeah,
I will say by the next time I get you on, which I mean, after talking today, it might be next week.
I'm down.
So
I'm down. You said
I know
John
you.
Lithgow. That's all you got to say.
I know. I will say, what is your favorite Lithgow performance?
there's there's one that sticks out to me, and it was just because I had seen him do so much comedy, and I had seen him do serious roles like in Ricochet and Raising Cain.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that season 4 Dexter run where it was like
Yeah, that's
it
me
was
too.
just so perfect. Like he's the family man, and then in an instant, it was just
Oh yeah,
the just
amazing
a
though.
change in the eyes, and you're like, oh no, I don't
Yeah,
want to be
for
around you, John
for me,
Lithgow.
that's his number one role, and then I'm gonna say
Yeah,
his number two role is probably Third Rock from the Sun.
yeah, definitely.
But I mean, I still have a lot of love for that. I mean, plus, I mean, I had Shay Astor on the show before. She was on there. I mean, she's just fucking incredible too.
Yeah,
But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I mean, Jeff, dude, thank you so much for coming on.
of course, man.
Um,
Anytime, anytime. It's always a pleasure to come on.
oh, dude. Well, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. Remember, guys, check out Jeff, and you can check out all of his links that are posted below. You got his Facebook, you have his Twitter, as well as his Instagram. So check that shit out. Follow Jeff. I mean, technically, you're not following Jeff. You're following his show. So you're following Jeff and Leanne. So I
I'll
mean,
tell you
even
the
if you don't
secret.
like Jeff, at least follow Leanne.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Give a like
horrible.
for her. I just come along in the package.
Hey, I get it. I get
And I
it.
mean, I run all the social media, so you're technically kind of following me, but I mean, not really. You're following her, and you're following the podcast. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I mean, I didn't follow till I was like, who's this Jeff? Oh, Leanne's in this. All right. And I
Hmm.
mean, I followed on everything now. No. Oh man. Well, hopefully she's doing well too, man, and hopefully she can make it for the next time I get you on for sure.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
definitely gonna make her come on the next time. I'm gonna force. No, I won't make her. I'll ask her. She should definitely be down to come on the next time.
she's a John Lithgow fan too.
Honestly, I don't know if she is. We've been together for
It's
12 years, and I have no idea if she's a Lithgow fan.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a requirement before you get married.
She could
You have to
absolutely hate him, and I
discuss
have no idea.
Lithgow. I mean, if she does hate him, just don't ask her to be on the episode. No, just don't. She's not included in anything else. No, I'm
No,
joking.
no, I will not tolerate hate for John Lithgow.
Right? Jeff's gonna get a hold of me later. So I talked to her. She's not a big fan. I'm gonna be at the courthouse tomorrow filing divorce. No, it's like, Lithgow, get the fuck out. God damn. But thank you so much for coming on, man. It's always a fucking pleasure. So,
Thanks for having me, man. This is a blast.
oh,
I always look forward
always.
to it.
Thank you, dude. Do you have anything that you want to add before we go?
Uh, no, you covered it well.
Awesome. At least I got
I
everything.
mean,
Right.
I can say recently we did. If I can just do another little promotion.
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
here.
of course. Of
Um,
course.
we host through Podbean, so it's also you can go there and find the show. But we're an affiliate, so if anyone out there watching this or listening is looking to start a podcast, we have a link that you can use.
Ooh.
It is podbean.com/skewered free. If you sign up for a paid plan, you get a month free. We get a little something
Very
in
cool.
return, but I mean,
Hey,
if you want to start, it's a good way to look. It's a good way to
that's
check it
awesome.
out.
And
So,
just for those
know,
listening, that's going to be in the show notes. I will make sure Jeff sends me that link.
I will send you the
check
link
that
so
shit
it's
out.
correct because I may have said it incorrectly because I didn't want to stay on my phone for 5 minutes trying to pull it up. I should have been better about having it, but it just popped up at the top of my head. I'm just kind of proud to if people want to sign up, they can get a month free and kind of see how they like it. But I just
Right.
feel, if you want to start a podcast, start it. And you can use that link and get a month for free with a paid plan. It doesn't hurt anybody to get something for free.
No, in fact, it always feels better. I enjoy more free things than I can even talk about. But, anyways, thank you so much for coming on, man. I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks everyone for watching. Remember, check out my comic book And if you talk to Chuck, ask him about his socks. He loves that conversation. And with that being said, the crypt is closed.
Thanks for listening, kiddies. You're all a scream.